The Phoenix Suns, after a hard-fought victory against the Los Angeles Clippers, have a rough one tonight against the Timberwolves, led by Anthony Edwards and company. It was not one that you're happy with if you're a Phoenix Suns fan, but I'm Curtis Jones, and welcome to Suns Digest. If you want to stay up with the Suns Digest news, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new or old with us. If you have not hit that button, hit the button, and we'll be here every day, daily, with more Phoenix Suns news, and always here with the post game. And tonight, we're talking about the Phoenix Suns versus the Timberwolves. This game tonight, it was rough. I would say it was humbling. After watching us over the last few games, we've been watching ourselves heat up, watching the Suns really, no pun intended, we've been watching the Suns heat up and get better and better, especially after the acquisition of Nick Richards. But tonight, just as a whole, it wasn't what we needed to take the dub over the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, one of the stronger teams in the Western Conference. Suns were starting to look like such, but I mean, we still are looking better and better as the days go by. We still are becoming a force. We do need a couple more pieces to keep contending, but we'll break that down here in a little bit. We're going to talk about what happened tonight in this game against the Timberwolves, and tonight we lost. We lost to these bad boys 121 to 113. It was rough stuff. We watched these guys really dominate majority of the game. Not too far a difference in the standings, right? 25 and 21 and 24 and 21. We were tied. We would have been one up on them if we had taken this game, right? But Anthony Edwards and company really, really putting up a phenomenal game. If you're looking at that stat line I have there on the screen, that is actually Bradley Beal's numbers for the night. 6 assists, 17 points, and he was 33% from three with 60% from the field. He actually, if I want to let you know, it was 6 for 10 from three. So Bradley Beal actually had a very good game, and we'll get into a little bit more on that here in a little bit. But let's take a look at the stats across the board. We shot 43 for 85. Okay, that's 50%. They shot 56% on us. From three, we got up a couple more than them, but that was still pretty tightly contested from three. It was 44.8% for the Wolves, and then we shot 37.5. That's not a big disparity. It does contribute to a loss when we're shooting a lower percentage, but it wasn't too crazy. We were still shooting good as a collective, right? And from the free throw line, that's where we start to fall short. 24 for 27, 88.9% for the Wolves, and then 15 for 20, and then 75% for the Phoenix Suns. We weren't getting to the line as consistent as we normally do. We normally see Kevin Durant and Booker on the line a little bit more. A couple of our bigs, Nick Richards actually have been getting to the line a little bit lately in his other games. Tonight he was low on scoring, but we just want to get into the line and getting those free buckets. When we did, only missed 5 out of 20. Not a bad look, as opposed to 24 for 27. I mean, they still would have outdone us if we got a couple more free throws, it looks like, consistency-wise. But when we get to the rebounds, 35 to 34 in our favor. Now, that doesn't look bad, but that is something I'll get to here in a little bit. Nick Richards had a very light performance. We didn't get the rebound performances that we've been getting lately out of him. You know what? Let's just do it now. Nick Richards tonight, we actually only got 5 rebounds out of him in total. 4 defensive rebounds and 1 offensive rebound. I mean, we're going back into the previous games. We're looking at 19. The game before that, I can't remember exactly, but he was above 10, right? And then we get down into 5. Now, with that being said, he was only out there for 25 minutes. Granted, I still think we could have got more production out of him, especially since we only got 7 points. But I'll give it to him. Yeah, maybe you have a breakout performance early on, and you're still getting comfortable with the team. That's okay. I'll deal with that in the time to come. Now, turnovers. Let's get down there. Like, we can talk about 6 and 6 on the blocks, 8 and 8 on the steals. Right? That both teams even there. But turnovers 15 to 14. Now, that looks pretty normal, doesn't it? Looks pretty normal. But whenever you talk about the players that are on the court, Devin Booker. Our guy Booker dropped 28 points tonight. He had 8 assists. Very, very good on the offensive end of the ball. It looks like he's very, very good on the offensive end of the ball. But then when you really take a deeper look at it, he was 2 for 7 from 3. 2 for 7 from 3. I'm not a fan. One of those coming in the clutch in the fourth quarter to try to keep us in the game that we were kind of out of. We were already out of that game. But he hit one that looked like it would be a snowball effect and we could start rolling from there, but we unfortunately didn't. So really, for the majority of the game, he was 1 for 6. And then he finally hits that one. That makes him 2 for 7. But then the bigger picture. Devin Booker, out of those 15 turnovers, he was 9 of those turnovers. And I only say that. I don't want to harp on Booker and make it seem like Booker is the downfall of our team, because the last time we had a post game, I was like, okay, we need more production out of him, and I want him to keep shooting. So I'm not saying that I don't want him to stay out there and keep getting his confidence back and keep balling. It's just I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my man if he's having a hard time with the defenses that are on him. Maybe Anthony Edwards was really just hounding him tonight. Maybe he was. There was some turnovers that I couldn't believe that I saw. But I just need him to do better. He's doing everything he can on the offensive end, and he's trying to get up as many shots as he can. He's being very ball dominant. But, man, if you're having a bad game, I'm telling you right now, you have other options. Kevin Durant has been doing phenomenal in the fourth quarter. We broke that down last time. Upwards of 50% from the field and upwards of 40% from the three-point line in the fourth quarter alone, right? And Kevin Durant put up 40 minutes tonight with 33 points and 7 assists. I think we could have gotten some value out of him having the ball in his hand in the closing minutes. Not even the closing minutes. In the final quarter alone, I think Kevin Durant should have put it on and really took over for the game. But unfortunately, we're watching Kevin Durant kind of be lax in the game and take a back seat and let everybody else do their thing. And he gets in where he fits in, whereas I think he needs to become that dominant force. Because as of right now, Booker is not being that dominant force. Now, let's get down to Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, I mean, we just talked about him. He actually should have had the ball a little bit more in the later moments. And then even earlier in the game, I think he should have had some time. And now you can't tell that Booker's going to have a bad game. You can't predict that. But if we would have understood that we need to give this time to Beal, if we're going to keep him, it's looking like we are. Now, there's other stuff we can talk about with the trade deadline coming up. He's still out there. He still has preferences of where he wants to go, and it seems like the Suns want to wheel and deal. But I think that we're still going to end up stuck with Beal. And I don't even want to say stuck because I'm liking the way he's playing lately. I just don't think that we're giving him a fair shake. 17 points in 25 minutes, mind you. I think that he played very, very well. 6 assists on top of that. He could have had a double-double if he had more minutes. If there was earlier points in the game where he got to be out there alone and just be that guy, I think he really could have balled out for us. The contract would have came into play, and we would have gotten our money's worth from Bradley Beal tonight, to be honest. Grayson Allen, a good game. He's 11 points for tonight. Grayson Allen shot 3 for 6 from the three-point line. He's pretty much our only sharpshooter, so I'm not too surprised by such, but I'm happy with the performance. Now, I mean, we can talk about everybody else. Now, you know what? We are going to talk about it. Very light performance from Nick Richards. We're going to go ahead and bypass him and not go too deep on his stat line. We're going to go to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, 13 for 19 from the field and 4 for 8 from 3. Let me say that again. 13 for 19 from the field and 4 for 8 from 3. And this guy also put up 7 assists. If we allowed him to dominate and get up more shots, he only got up 19 shots. If we allowed him to put up 25 to 30 shots, we guaranteed could have won this game. I think so. I thoroughly believe if Kevin Durant was able to just go, I'm green lighted, I'm not going to look for everybody else, I'm going to really just ball out on these guys and then start assisting later, this could have turned out different. Now, we're done talking with the Suns. Let's go over to the other team. Let's go to the Wolves and see what we got over here. Anthony Edwards, 33 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. I'm not surprised in the slides. That man was balling out of control. A lot of fast break buckets coming in from Edwards. He was really on top of his game. Julius Randle, same pretty much, 28 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. He was actually playing bully ball out there. If you watch the game, my goodness, that man was playing out of his mind. But the part where, if you saw in the beginning of the video, I said defense is key. When I said defense is key, something has to be done on the defensive end. We have 3 guys in double digits, and one of them is Nickeil Alexander Walker comes away with 23 points on us. There's no way. There's no way. I don't think if there was anybody that was supposed to hit us with another 23, another 20 ball, it's not him. No shade to him, but that shows me that we were lacking on the defensive end of the ball. There was a lot of possessions that we could watch, and then we really take into account the fact that our star player Booker has 9 turnovers in himself. They were playing better defense than us. If we could have turned up on the defensive end and put some stops to these guys that were really hot, maybe come up with a different game plan. I didn't really see any doubling out there. Budenholzer, I don't know. Man, maybe you should start thinking about some new defensive schemes because those weren't working. I think as a whole, the Suns were relying on offensive output because we have so many scorers, superstar scorers, really, because the background guys aren't really bucket getters like that. So we have so much front court scoring that's like, oh yeah, we could just shoot the lights out and take over a game. Obviously not. We had a hard time getting buckets this game, and then we had guys really just putting up numbers on us. Even McDaniels coming away with 14, but his stat line is beautiful. 14, 6, and 3. He doesn't have to get that many buckets whenever you're seeing the other 3 drop 20 balls on our head plus a 30 piece and another one that's almost a 30 piece, right? It's just a rough deal. It's a rough deal. Either way it goes, if you sat down and watched it, it was a really good game. There was just very key moments that I myself, and I know you as a Suns fan, could see us having issues and us faltering and floundering a little bit here and there. But we were playing very well to an extent. I think some of the game plans need to be switched. I went over it. Beal should have had the ball a little bit more. Kevin Durant definitely should have taken over in the fourth quarter. We should have definitely been swinging the ball a little bit more and trying to find Grayson because he had the hot hand, 3 for 6 from 3. We could have won this game. We could have won this game. It's just the synergy is starting to come together. We're trying to find out our identity as a team at the moment. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. We'll figure it out here soon with the Phoenix Suns. What's going on with us? I think in the next game we'll come out a little bit stronger, no matter who the opponent. But we'll find out in the coming days. Let me know how you guys felt about the game in the comments. I liked it, even though it was a loss. I liked it. There's just little points that I see that we need to change. The Timberwolves, like I said, they're not an easy team to beat, so it's not a loss to really just feel down about. So either way, it was just a good NBA game to watch. Let us know in the comments how you feel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back with more Phoenix Suns news tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after. We'll see you next time, and go Phoenix Suns.